Swadika, hello and welcome. You're watching ASEAN Challenge, the show to give you the latest headlines, hot topics, and updates happening around your ASEAN countries. I'm Rosalind Tepawan.
And I'm Alisa Sithiwong ขอต้อนรับคุณผู้ชมทุกท่านเข้าสู่รายการ ASEAN Challenge ค่ะข่าวสารรอบอาเซียนของเราเป็นทั้งภาษาอังกฤษและภาษาไทยค่ะ
And to kick off ASEAN Challenge with our ASEAN hot issues, let's take a look at some news headlines that are making trends around the countries of ASEAN right now, especially among the beauty pageants. We've been seeing a lot more vocalization of political opinions, but sometimes that kind of expression may backfire in different ways.
That's right. So we're going to focus on a situation or an occurrence that occurred in Myanmar and with the latest beauty pageant, Miss Grand Myanmar. Now, Miss Grand Myanmar, beautiful young lady of the age of 19, Shwe Ain Si, received first prize as Miss Grand Myanmar this year. Now, the controversial part about it is, however, is that her title was revoked, taken back from her, so she had to return her crown and her title back to the pageant due to a ongoing video on Facebook or on social media that had to do with the ongoing violence in Rakhine State. Now, according to the company that is behind the organization, Hello Madame Media Group, they actually said that it wasn't about the video itself, but that she had, of course, went against the competition rules, and it wasn't actually about the video itself, so saying that she wasn't being a very good role model.
Right, indeed. Actually, in fact, when she published that video, according to various sources, they said that they actually dethroned her even before her video clip was published or removed, as a matter of fact. And so the issue of the dates and the details concerning those procedures and steps is still a murky issue in this dethronement, but altogether their video itself did address a lot of very sensitive topics happening in Myanmar right now concerning the Rohingya, as you said, especially in particular the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army, or the ARSA, which had been, you could say, playing a big role in escalating a lot of tension between the Myanmar military and also the Rohingya migrant or the Rohingya group as well. So that kind of conflict, and we see a lot of very, very graphic images ahead here, are part of the depiction from Shwe Ain Si, the video about the reign of terror brought about by this militant group in Rakhine State.
That's right. So as you mentioned, of course, it was a very graphic video and it was posted on her Facebook page. And the beauty queen says that, well, they say that the attacks were out of proportion. She was speaking in English, and she accuses the militants and their supporters of conducting a media campaign so that harbingers of terror and violence themselves now seem as if they are the oppressed. Her video makes no mention of allegations that the Myanmar military have carried out widespread atrocities against the Muslim Rohingya minority. The army, which has been accused of conducting ethnic cleansing, has said it is only targeting militants.
Right, indeed. Well, you could see here that still tensions continue to escalate now, and sadly, though, this comes at a very opportune time for the pageant queen, you could say, because while she came in second at the Miss Universe Myanmar competition, she won the Miss Grand Myanmar title, coming in first there. She is also set to represent her country at the upcoming Grand International competition later this month as well. So that opportunity seems to now have gone out the window. But still, regardless, she had come out to voice her political opinions regarding a group that has not received a lot of sympathy from a lot of Myanmaris so
That's
far.
Right. So, I mean, a similar situation happened in September as well, where the winner of Miss Turkey 2017 was stripped off her crown after it emerged that she had shared a post referencing last year's coup attempt. Competition organizers said that the tweet was unacceptable. So, of course, being a part of, these titles, receiving titles of Miss Turkey, or whether it is Miss Myanmar Grand, you have to be careful a little bit, even though you want to voice your opinions about various situations. But of course, politics is very sensitive, and if you're going to have to be a role model, of course, some of these things you have to be very careful about.
Right, especially with such events as international or national pageants as such. You could see from these recent activities here a lot of inner workings that happened behind the scenes at these pageants. So again, some more politics to keep in mind concerning this issue.
ใช่แล้วค่ะมาดูกันในส่วนข่าวแรกนะคะในส่วนของอาเซียนอารันดัสในช่วงแรกค่ะเรามาดูกันที่ประเทศเมียนมานั่นเองค่ะซึ่งไม่นานมานี้ก็มีการประกวดมิสเมียนมาหรือว่ามิสแกรนด์เมียนมานั่นเองค่ะซึ่งกองประกวดนี้นะคะก็อยู่ภายใต้บริษัท Hello Madam Media นั่นเองค่ะทางผู้ชนะของการประกวดในปีนี้นะคะนางสาวช่วยเองสีนะคะวัย19ปีก็ล่าสุดเนี่ยค่ะก็ได้โดนถอดตำแหน่งนะคะเนื่องจากก็มีเรื่องราวที่เขาพูดกันว่าที่เหตุผลที่จะต้องคืนสะพายหรือว่ามงกุฎเนี่ยเป็นเพราะว่าคลิปวิดีโอที่ทางนางสาวช่วยเองสีเนี่ยได้โพสต์บน Facebook หรือเปล่าแต่ทางกองประกวดเนี่ยจริงๆบอกว่าเป็นเพราะว่าภาพลักษณ์หรือว่ากฎกติกาที่ทางกองประกวดมีเนี่ยทางนางสาวช่วยเองสีเนี่ยไม่สามารถปฏิบัติตามได้ก็ทำให้ภาพลักษณ์ของกองประกวดเนี่ยก็ถือว่าเป็นสิ่งที่ไม่เหมาะสมเขาก็บอกว่าจริงๆแล้วถอดตำแหน่งก่อนที่คลิปของเธอเนี่ยจะออกบน Facebook ด้วยซ้ำ
ใช่ค่ะเขาดูว่าเหตุการณ์มันเกิดใกล้เคียงกันนะคะก็เลยทำให้คนรอบข้างอาจจะมองว่ามีส่วนเกี่ยวข้องยังไงบ้างแต่ว่าในขณะนี้ทางผู้จัดการของบริษัท Hello Madam Media Group ก็ออกมาปฏิเสธว่าจริงๆแล้วมันไม่ใช่การเมืองอย่างที่เราคิดกันซึ่งเราก็ต้องพิจารณาดูเพราะว่าเร็วๆนี้สิ้นเดือนนี้นะคะทางชเวนะคะอินสีก็ออกมาบอกว่าจะมีการประกวดอยู่แล้วนะคะสิ้นเดือนแต่ว่าคราวนี้ก็คงจะไม่ได้ประกวดแล้วล่ะค่ะ
ค่ะในตัวคลิปที่เรากำลังพูดถึงเนี่ยคือมันเกิดเหตุการณ์นี้มันเกิดใกล้เคียงกับช่วงเวลาที่เขาโดนถอดตำแหน่งพอดีคลิปที่พูดถึงเนี่ยเป็นคลิปบน Facebook ของเธอนะคะเป็นคลิปบน Facebook ส่วนตัวของเธอที่ได้แสดงความคิดเห็นเกี่ยวกับความรุนแรงของชาวโรฮิงญาในรัฐยะไข่นั่นเองค่ะซึ่งเขาก็ได้พูดถึงการสู้รบของกองทัพเมียนมาตั้งแต่ปลายเดือนสิงหาคมที่ผ่านมานะคะที่ทำให้คนเสียชีวิตไปประมาณ500กว่าคนแล้วก็ทำให้คนได้ต้องลี้ภัยไปบังกลาเทศกว่า 500,000 คนแล้ว
ใช่ค่ะในขณะนี้เหตุการณ์ก็ยังเกิดขึ้นยังไม่ได้มีการจบหรือว่าการแก้ไขกันอย่างเรียบร้อยนะคะซึ่งเรื่องนี้ก็ได้ถือว่าเป็นเรื่องที่เซนซิทีฟมากๆสำหรับประเทศเมียนมานั่นเองซึ่งก็ในขณะนี้ส่วนใหญ่ชาวเมียนมาก็ไม่ได้ให้ความเห็นใจกับชาวโรฮิงญาเพราะฉะนั้นการโพสต์คลิปอันนี้ก็จะเป็นสิ่งที่ได้รับแบบแบ็กไฟร์มากๆค่ะ
ก็ได้เรียกร้องได้ความสนใจทีเดียวเลยจากประชาชนนะคะเพราะเป็นเรื่องที่ค่อนข้างที่จะเซนซิทีฟพอสมควร
ใช่ค่ะทีนี้เราก็จะคอยอัปเดตนะคะว่ามีเหตุการณ์เกิดขึ้นยังไงมีการแก้ไขอะไรบ้างในขณะนี้นะคะที่ประเทศบังกลาเทศหรือว่าพม่าเช่นกันค่ะ
ค่ะ With that said, we're going to take a short break now and we'll be back for more news updates soon. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the program. Into ASEAN hot issues. We take a look at headlines making the news this week around ASEAN and one of the most important events around ASEAN. Let's move on to some updates also happening in Indonesia here as people are still just, you could say, anticipating the inevitable. So according to experts, we've been watching the impending eruption of Mount Agung for the past several days now, more than a week, but still there's no sign of an eruption happening anytime soon. But still, despite that, many alarms are being set up and alerters all over that area just to keep things in check.
That's right. So they've reached what we can say the highest level of emergency warning for the area, and in which locals who live around that area have been evacuated in order to keep them safe from a possibility that the Mount Agung could erupt at any time.
Right.
Now, not only that though, however, because this mount, of course, is located in Bali, which is, of course, a very important tourist location of Indonesia, and a lot of tourists do go there. Now, there have been what we can say warnings for tourists not to climb up Mount Agung. It's very dangerous, of course. So this is not a good time to go climbing there. Mount Agung itself is considered as a highlight of the area itself. So a lot of tourists, of course, do want to go there. But of course, due to the situation at the moment, of course, officials are warning people to maybe not climb the mountains during this time.
Perhaps that would be the smartest move so far for visitors to avoid any kind of zone declared a disaster zone. So that said, still, despite the alerters and cautions and warnings out there, a lot of evacuees actually who had voluntarily left are also voluntarily going back because they have still not really evacuated all of their items and important goods and valuables. So many people had tried to make their way back from those shelters back home and then back again. And so people are still circulating, still impending that kind of eruption. But alerters and alarms have really been innovated over the past several years, you could say. So these new alarms that have been set everywhere by security officers around the clock, whether they're mobile alerters carried by cars or alerters fixed to various locations and buildings. These alerters and alarms will let people know about 2 hours in advance of an impending eruption. So that's quite good news as well.
That's right. So these alerters, as you have mentioned, of course, go around a circle of the volcano about 9 kilometers around and can alarm 2 hours ahead, as you mentioned, for those living within 2 kilometers circle of the Mount Agung itself. So, of course, if tourists are going to go into the area, of course, maybe you should stay away from the mountain itself. There's also a lot of other beautiful locations that you can see, but of course, do stay updated to the situation. Of course, the alerting has been begun since the end of September, and it's still ongoing because there's no way to tell if it's going to erupt or when it will erupt as well. So that is a situation which, of course, to keep safety, you should be aware of all the time.
Right, better safe than sorry.
ใช่แล้วค่ะ มาดูกันในส่วนข่าวที่ 2 ของ ASEAN Around Us นะคะ ขออภัยค่ะ ASEAN Hot Issue นั่นเองค่ะ ซึ่งในทางอินโดนีเซียนะคะก็ยังประกาศเตือนอย่างต่อเนื่องเรื่องโอกาสที่ภูเขาไฟอากุงเนี่ยอาจจะมีการ erupt ขึ้นมาได้อาจจะเป็นการคือถ้าสมมติว่าถ้ามีการ erupt ขึ้นมาก็จะเป็นอันตรายต่อประชาชนที่อยู่ในแถวนั้นคราวนี้ทางประชาชนที่ไปท่องเที่ยวในบริเวณนี้ค่ะก็จะมีบางคนที่ชอบไปปีนภูเขาไฟอากุงนั่นเองทางเจ้าหน้าที่ก็ได้เตือนว่าอย่าเพิ่งปีนเลยในช่วงนี้เพราะว่าถ้าหากสมมติว่าเนี่ยมีการระเบิดขึ้นมาก็จะเป็นอันตรายต่อประชาชนได้ในขณะนี้นะคะก็มีการเตือนตั้งแต่เมื่อ22กันยายนที่ผ่านมาค่ะก็มีประชาชนที่อพยพออกจากบริเวณประมาณ2กิโลรอบ Mount Agung หรือว่าภูเขาไฟอังกุงนั่นเองค่ะ
ใช่ค่ะก็เจ้าหน้าที่ก็แนะนำว่าไม่คุ้มกับการเสียชีวิตนะคะเสี่ยงชีวิตด้วยที่จะไปปีนหรือว่าอยู่รอบๆบริเวณภูเขาไฟที่อาจจะระเบิดเมื่อไหร่ก็ได้นะคะแต่ว่าในขณะนี้เจ้าหน้าที่ก็ได้มีการติดAlarm System นะคะก็หรือว่าเป็นที่เราเรียกว่า Alertors นะคะที่สามารถให้ทุกคนได้ทราบล่วงหน้า2ชั่วโมงก่อนที่ภูเขาไฟจะระเบิดไม่ว่าจะอยู่รอบภูเขาทางตึกหรือว่าทางรถนะคะก็จะมีการติดรอบๆเพราะฉะนั้นก็จะเป็นการช่วยเหลือคนที่ลี้ภัยไปอีกครั้งหนึ่งค่ะแต่ว่าในขณะที่ทุกคนรอให้เหตุการณ์มันจบนะคะให้มันสรุปภูเขาไฟระเบิดซะทุกคนก็จะได้แยกย้ายแล้วก็พยายามที่จะ move on กันใช่ไหมคะแต่ว่าในขณะนี้หลายคนที่ลี้ภัยไปที่สถานที่ลี้ภัยกันหลายจุดนะคะก็กลับบ้านกันนะคะเพราะว่าบางทีเรื่องราวที่บ้านอาจจะยังไม่เรียบร้อยแล้วภูเขาไฟยังไม่ระเบิดก็เลยกลับไปกลับมากันนะคะ
จริงค่ะเพราะว่าคือจริงๆเขาประกาศให้ลี้ภัยมีจำนวนคน 140,000 คนที่ลี้ภัยเมื่อตั้งแต่วันที่22กันยายนที่ผ่านมาก็ผ่านมาหลายสัปดาห์แล้วเขาก็คงต้องมีธุระต้องกลับบ้านของเขายังไม่มีการระเบิดของภูเขาไฟแต่ว่าอย่างไรก็ตามนะคะถึงแม้ว่ามันจะมีการตักเตือนได้ว่าภูเขาไฟเนี่ยจะระเบิดอีก2ชั่วโมงเนี่ยอย่างไรก็ตามนะคะใครที่ไปท่องเที่ยวในเกาะบาหลีเนี่ยก็ควรจะระมัดระวัง นิดนึงนะคะก็เกาะบาหลีก็มีหลายอย่างที่สวยงามสามารถไปดูได้ก็อาจจะเว้นการปีนภูเขาไฟในช่วงนี้ละกัน
ใช่ค่ะหรือไม่งั้นก็กลับไปเที่ยวอีกรอบนึงนะคะในช่วงที่ปลอดภัยกว่านี้ค่ะ
ใช่ค่ะ Moving on to other news updates now a lighter news from Indonesia a very we can say quite cute and animal friendly news update from Indonesia going to a small Indonesian farming village called Tloggoweru and their village leader named Pujo Artu has prepared to release 2 young common barn owls from his breeding facility now if we talk about owls in nature and approximately every year an owl will lay about 12 eggs but the situation that goes on is or what happens to these eggs is maybe about 1 or 2 will be able to survive due to various animals coming to catch them as prey and so forth so this village here has decided to have their own barn or method of taking care of these owls and being able to increase the survival rates of baby owls.
Right, indeed. What they're doing is trying to rebalance the ecosystem here as a result of deforestation. A lot of chances for these owls to survive and lay more eggs, as you mentioned, and have their offspring survive is quite low. So representatives, especially Pujo Arto, they're trying to rebalance that by creating a system where more owls can be born and can get rid of pests, for example, rats and other pests going around in these areas, eating farm crops and destroying various harvests and stuff. So that said, well, what's interesting is the inspiration behind this project. Apparently, they say their inspiration comes from Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
And Hedwig, Harry Potter's owl pet.
Ah, okay. Well, however, this project is 50 years old, so maybe it began before Harry Potter.
Right.
But however, of course, Harry Potter did become the inspiration later on. So, but within the 50 years that they've been doing this project, since actually they've been able to see almost 2,000 common barn owls released from here. So that's a very successful story. What they do is they set up 140 nesting boxes across the village for the nocturnal birds to lay their eggs. And deforested land used for agriculture reduces owls' chance of finding places to nest. So they're able to go to these nesting boxes around these areas. And of course, they keep them safe and make sure that they're free from the predators and they'll be able to survive.
Right. With that said, though, they'll have to perhaps prepare for any kind of incident where owls are actually overbreeding very much and the population of owls growing more than expected. But still, in any case of that, a big trend happening around the community right now is having owls as pets. Another inspiration from Harry Potter as well. So still, Indonesia is trying to take action and really take the reins in controlling the ecosystem and trying to balance what they can. Owls not being listed on any kind of wildlife protection list makes the trade in these birds quite technically legal. And so what you see here is a lot of trade in the owl business growing in Indonesia at a very fast rate. So we'll have to see how officials might be able to step in to counter any kind of trade in that incident. They are naturally wild, of course, and they're supposed to be left in the wild. But these days, you could see the queues of people here trying to get their hands on a pet owl.
Well, they say that these owls are sold for just 150,000 to 200,000 Indonesian rupiah, which is about $11 to $15. And despite the name Javan Scopes, a common barn owl is more expensive, usually priced at between 1 million to 1.5 million Indonesian rupiah or $74 to $111. So, as you mentioned, of course, it's become a trend to have a Harry Potter animal as a pet. However, Arto himself is trying to reverse this trend. He says he hopes that his program goes some way in reminding locals that owls serve far better as natural predators than domestic pets.
Indeed. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled to see how the nature itself will balance itself out with people assisting, and of course how perhaps wildlife regulations will be able to balance out this trend and legalize more technically this trade.
ใช่แล้วค่ะมาดูกันเมื่อสักครู่นี้ค่ะอย่างที่เราเห็นกันบนจอคือภาพบรรยากาศที่อินโดนีเซียค่ะมากันที่หมู่บ้านเล็กๆแห่งหนึ่งที่มีชื่อว่าทอกโกวาลุนั่นเองค่ะซึ่งมี ผู้นำหมู่บ้านชื่อปูโจอาโตนั่นเองค่ะเขาก็มีโครงการที่เขาได้เริ่มต้นขึ้นเพื่อที่จะช่วยนกฮูกนะคะตั้งแต่แม่วางไข่จนกระทั่งมันสามารถโตขึ้นมามีอายุประมาณ4 เดือนแล้วก็สามารถที่จะมีแรงพอที่จะกลับสู่ธรรมชาติได้เหตุผลที่ได้เริ่มโครงการนี้นะคะเพราะว่าตามธรรมชาติแล้วนกฮูกเนี่ยจะวางไข่ประมาณ3-12 ฟองแม็กซิมัมนะคะแล้วคราวนี้อัตราการรอดชีพเนี่ยอยู่แค่เพียง1 ตัวเท่านั้นเนื่องจากว่าคือไข่เนี่ยก็อาจจะโดนสัตว์อื่นๆเช่นหนูค้างคาวไปกินดังนั้นเนี่ยค่ะทางอาโต้เนี่ยค่ะก็ได้มีโครงการนี้เพื่อที่จะสร้างรังเทียมให้กับนกฮูกแล้วก็ให้มันปลอดภัยรังเทียมก็มีทั้งหมด140รังนะคะแล้วก็ปัจจุบันเนี่ยก็คือผ่านมาละ50 ปีในการทำโครงการนี้ก็สามารถทำให้นกฮูกเนี่ยสามารถกลับคืนสู่ธรรมชาติได้กว่า 2,000 ตัวละ
ใช่ค่ะก็นับว่าทางจำนวนของนกฮูกก็เพิ่มขึ้นเรื่อยๆนะคะในขณะนี้คนทางหมู่บ้านก็นิยมการเลี้ยงนกฮูกเป็นสัตว์เลี้ยงด้วยนะคะซึ่งก็หลายคนก็มองว่ามีส่วนเกี่ยวข้องแรงบันดาลใจก็อาจจะมาจากหนังแฮร์รี่พอตเตอร์หรือว่าหนังสือที่ขึ้นชื่อทั่วโลกนะคะคนก็จะติดตามแล้วก็เรียนแบบกันเพราะฉะนั้นคิวก็ค่อนข้างจะยาวนะคะราคาของนกฮูกตัว barn owl ก็ประมาณสัก75 ถึง 100 กว่าเหรียญนั่นเองค่ะส่วนนกฮูกชาวจอฟวันนะคะเป็นนกฮูกของอินโดนีเซียก็11 เหรียญถึง15 เหรียญก็นับว่าก็ไม่ได้แพงมาก
ค่ะแต่อย่างไรก็ตามก็ทางอาโตเขาก็ออกมาพูดว่าแบบจริงๆแล้วนกฮูกอยากให้เขาอยู่ตามธรรมชาติของเขาไม่อยากจะให้มาเป็นสัตว์เลี้ยงในบ้านนะคะโดยธรรมชาติเขาก็ควรจะอยู่ตามธรรมชาติก็จริงๆแล้วนกฮูกก็อาจจะไม่ควรจะมาเป็นเทรนด์เป็นสัตว์เลี้ยงเหมือนในแฮร์รี่พอตเตอร์ขนาดนั้น
ใช่ค่ะก็ต้องจับตาดูนะคะว่าเทรนด์ก็จะได้รับการ regulate หรือว่าการ control แบบไหนบ้างนะคะเพราะว่าจำนวนนกฮูกก็มากขึ้นเรื่อยๆนะคะค่ะ
Alright, moving on to some other news updates now. Another part of Indonesia in which police have come to investigate what they call a gay spa after a weekend raid. Now, so what occurred was that in Indonesia, the police have brought 5 suspects detained in a raid which authorities have described as a gay spa to collect evidence from the scene. This occurred Monday, October 9th.
Right, where you see here, suspects possibly could face up to 6 years in prison under pornography and prostitution laws. One person from the raid is still on the run, but altogether, several people had been arrested. 51 men, several foreigners detained in Jakarta, and investigations are still ongoing. But so far, in Indonesia, considered a very tolerant country, there's no law that criminalizes LGBT, but rights are still not equal as compared to other Western countries. But at the same time, issues of pornography and prostitution are very harshly dealt with.
That's right. Activists have said police targeting of consensual gay sex has shown a light on discrimination and harassment in the world's 3rd largest democracy. So that's the situation going on in Indonesia. Quite a few that we've talked about today, whether it's, of course, the barn owls and this raid here, and as well as, of course, Bali.
Right, indeed. ก็นับว่าเป็นข่าวจำนวนมากนะคะที่เป็น hot issue จากประเทศอินโดนีเซียไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องล่าสุดที่เกิดที่เมืองใหญ่จาการ์ตานั่นเองนะคะซึ่งเจ้าหน้าที่หลายท่านนะคะได้ไปบุกลุกนะคะเป็นสปาเกย์นั่นเองในเมืองนะคะจับกลุ่มตัวคน51 คนนะคะผู้ชายรวมทั้งคนต่างชาติก็จำนวนมากเช่นกันนะคะคนหนึ่งก็ยังหนีอยู่ยังหาไม่เจอแต่ก็หลายคนถ้าได้ลงโทษหนักสุดนะคะก็อาจจะได้ลงโทษ6 ปีในคุกนะคะจากเหตุการณ์เรื่อง prostitution กับ pornography นั่นเอง
ถูกต้องค่ะก็คือเขาก็ระบุว่าเนี่ยการลักลอบขายบริการทางเพศกลุ่มเกย์เนี่ยก็คือเหตุผลที่ได้เข้ามาจับกุมนะคะนับเป็นสัญญาณล่าสุดของการกวาดล้างกลุ่มคนรักร่วมเพศในประเทศที่มีประชากรชาวมุสลิมมากที่สุดในโลกค่ะ
ก็เป็นเหตุการณ์ที่เกิดขึ้นในประเทศที่นับว่าหลายคนถือว่าเป็น democracy หรือว่าประชาธิปไตยที่ใหญ่ที่สุดที่3นะคะในโลกเราก็จะคอยติดตามดูนะคะว่ามีเหตุการณ์อย่างอื่นอะไรบ้างในประเทศอินโดนีเซียพร้อมกับอาเซียนแต่ว่า right now it's time for a short break when we come back lighter news up ahead in ASEAN calendar so don't go away
พักกันสักครู่ค่ะ
Welcome back to the program. Into ASEAN calendar, a lot of important events coming up for Thailand this month and also among many other ASEAN countries as well to mark your dates with.
ใช่แล้วค่ะกลับเข้าสู่รายการ ASEAN Challenge ในช่วงนี้ ASEAN Calendar ค่ะมีอีเวนต์สำคัญไม่ว่าในประเทศไทยกับประเทศอื่นๆในอาเซียนด้วยค่ะไปเชิญชมค่ะ The 15th of October 2017, Commemoration Day of His Royal Majesty King Norodom Sihanouk. The 15th of October is a national holiday to commemorate the memory of His Majesty Prabat Sumde Prat Norodom Sihanouk, which also known as King Father of Cambodia. His Royal Majesty Norodom Sihanouk was the King of Cambodia from 1941 to 1955, and later from 1993 to 2004. He was the effective ruler of Cambodia from the 9th of November 1953, when Cambodia gained its independence from France, until the 18th of March 1970. After his second abdication in 2004, he was known as the King Father of Cambodia. After a number of health problems, Sihanouk had been receiving medical treatment and passed away after a heart attack in Beijing on the 15th of October 2012, 16 days before his 90th birthday. State flags flew at half-mast, and King Norodom Sihamuni and Cambodian Prime Minister Somdet Hun Sen went to Beijing to bring home Sihanouk's body for a funeral at the Royal Palace in Phnom Penh. After Sihanouk's passing, national TV channels screened documentaries about his life on repeat, and hundreds of thousands of people went to Phnom Penh to show their last respects. It's estimated that more than 1 million people lined to route from the airport to the Royal Palace in Phnom Penh for the return of Sihanouk's body. On November 28, 2012, King Father Norodom Sihanouk was anointed by royal decree of His Majesty King Norodom Sihamuni with the title Phra Karuna Phra Norodom Sihanouk Phra Barom Ratanakot, meaning the king who lies in the diamond urn. The 15th of October 2017, Hand Washing Day. October 15th is Global Hand Washing Day, a global advocacy day dedicated to increasing awareness and understanding about the importance of hand washing. With every year, Global Hand Washing Day is celebrated with events, campaigns, and hand washing programs around the world. Before each Global Hand Washing Day, the Global Hand Washing Partnership selects a theme that will inspire celebrants and encourage hand washing with soap beyond October 15th. This year's theme is Our Hands, Our Future, reminding us that hand washing protects our own health but also allows us to build our own futures as well as those of our communities and the world. Thinking of the future, we strive to continued health, well-being, and productivity for ourselves, our families, and our communities. Hand washing is an affordable, effective way to achieve these goals. For example, hand washing with soap could prevent many of the 272 million yearly school days lost to diarrhea disease, and 50% of the infections acquired in healthcare settings. Hand washing with soap has the power to improve access to education for children, protect the health of patients and communities, and reduce inequities. It has an important role in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, contributing to zero hunger, good health, quality education, reduced inequalities, and more. Efforts on Global Hand Washing Day to promote the benefits and practice of hand washing with soap, as well as fostering access to and improving hygiene facilities, will help us work towards a future where that potential is realized. The 20th of October 2017, Women's Day in Vietnam. In Vietnam, people celebrate Women's Day twice a year. They observe National Women's Day on the 20th of October and again International Women's Day on the 8th of March. Numerous events are being held by the government, donors, mass organizations, and NGOs on both the days. Vietnam is a country where women had to fight many wars to establish themselves and secure their rights. An old Vietnamese saying, "One boy, that's something. 10 girls, that's nothing," and another. When the enemy is at the gate, the woman goes out fighting are enough to explain how women used to be treated here and how they have fought their way out of oppression and ill treatment to a better world with gender equality and better facilities. Till today, Vietnamese consider beauty as a more important achievement for women as compared to their political engagement, intelligence, compassion, and ambition. Overcoming the sour past was sure a difficult task for the women of such a chauvinist country. One of the main problems that Vietnamese women face is gender inequality. Women are often mistreated, misbehaved, and neglected. But with continuous years of tumult and protests, women of Vietnam eradicated the most unfair practices and norms. And today, Vietnamese women enjoy freedom and equal rights to a great extent, though not as much as the other open societies. To this day, many people consider women as an object for men's enjoyment. That is why on this day, women voice their resentment and antipathy to all the sexist and unjust thoughts. Throughout the country, numerous events are being organized to encourage and inspire young women and to empower them on Women's Day. The Vietnamese society shows their love and respect for Vietnamese women. They receive flowers and gifts from their lovers, husbands, and male friends on that day. Vietnamese women encourage and empower each other as well. Besides celebrating women's economic, political, and social achievements, people here also celebrate love and beauty. Previously, an alarming rise in the figures of child feticide and maternal mortality rate led to an outcry of several women activists. But thanks to these women empowering campaigns and rallies, there has been a steep drop in the statistics of maternal mortality from 233 per 100,000 births in 1990 to 69 per 100,000 births in 2009. Another significant change in Vietnam today is the increasing interest for education and higher studies among the women. Today, Vietnamese women have become more conscious about basic education and their emancipation. Vietnamese women are no more restricted with the four walls as thousands of Vietnamese women attend corporate offices and industries. During the last few decades, there has been a major change in women's position in Vietnam. Vietnam has been able to provide its women with safety and has successfully gotten rid of many major issues women used to face. But there are several important challenges which they are yet to overcome. Women's wages are very low compared to what the males of equivalent education levels and seniority make. Women still get less health insurance coverage than men. The Vietnamese government passed the 2003 land law, which has promoted the inclusion of women on land title certificates. But the majority of certificates still do not include women's names. Gender-based violence still remains a vital issue in the country. The 23rd of October 2017, Chulalongkorn Memorial Day. Chulalongkorn Memorial Day is an important holiday for many Thai people. Chulalongkorn Memorial Day, or Wan Piya Maharaj, gives Thai citizens an opportunity to pay respect to King Chulalongkorn. To many people, King Chulalongkorn was an important Thai leader who revitalized Thailand for the 20th century. He was loved by most of his subjects due to his progressive policies and diplomatic measures. Chulalongkorn Memorial Day celebrates his life and accomplishments. This holiday is celebrated in Thailand on October 23rd each year. Life of Chulalongkorn. Chulalongkorn was born into the house of Chakri as the son of King Rama IV. As a child, Chulalongkorn held a position in the royal court of Siam. Along with his political experience, Thailand's most beloved leader learned much through formal schooling. As a student, he studied biology, swordsmanship, engineering, English, and anthropology. According to his teachers, Chulalongkorn was a man of many talents. When he became the leader of Thailand, he toured colonized areas like Singapore. After studying European politics and military science, he westernized the Thai government and military. Many scholars believe that Chulalongkorn's actions allowed Thailand to maintain such sovereignty during the peak of global colonization efforts by European powers. Important acts. Economic reform. During King Chulalongkorn's 42-year rule of Thailand, he implemented many policies that bolstered the Thai economy. These measures helped Thai people from across all social classes. By using a Western economic model, Chulalongkorn was able to increase the per capita income of many Thai citizens. These pure economic efforts were aided by policies that removed institutions that extracted resources and income from the people of Thailand. Abolition of slavery and the Corvée system. For moral and economic reasons, King Chulalongkorn introduced many laws that made the extractive institutions of slavery and the Corvée system illegal in Thailand. In Thailand, the Corvée system was a forced labor model that forced certain groups in Thailand to work for the Thai government with limited compensation. Chulalongkorn viewed this system to be as immoral as slavery. To ensure that Thai citizens would be able to enjoy the freedom of choice and the fruits of their labor, he eradicated all forms of forced labor in Thailand. Implementation of Western values. Since Chulalongkorn was well versed in his teachings of Western philosophers like Hobbes and Locke, he sought to expand positive European values to his people. During his reign, people enjoyed many rights including freedom of speech and the right to assembly. All of these accomplishments caused the Thai people to love and respect King Chulalongkorn. Celebrations. Speeches. Many Thai politicians and public figures give speeches to show their respect for King Chulalongkorn. These speeches are usually oriented around themes like Thai unity and patriotism. Lectures. At major universities in Thailand, students can attend special lectures about Thai history and King Chulalongkorn. These lectures are excellent opportunities for people to learn about specialized topics like the long-term effects of Chulalongkorn's economic policies. Visit memorials. Many people pay tribute to King Chulalongkorn by laying wreaths at public memorials. One of the most famous locations for this activity is at the equestrian statue in the Royal Plaza. This is also the site of an important Chulalongkorn Memorial Day ceremony. Chulalongkorn Memorial Day is an opportunity for Thai citizens to learn about their nation's history while paying respect to one of the most important Thai kings. While Chulalongkorn Memorial Day is a major holiday in Thailand, most businesses do not close on October 23rd each year. Instead, some shops offer special deals to celebrate the event. Most government offices and schools close during Chulalongkorn Memorial Day. And with that said, we're going to take a short break. Coming back next, we have the ASEAN interview. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the program and on to ASEAN interview. As always, we have a very interesting topic for you this week. Let's check it out.
The Cambodian government's crackdown on the opposition has in fact created a wave of more opposition. An opposition leader who said she fled Cambodia in fear of arrest called on Western donors on Wednesday, the 4th of October, to impose targeted sanctions on Prime Minister Hun Sen's government to save democracy in the Southeast Asian nation. Muso Chua, 63, left Cambodia Tuesday, saying she'd been tipped off that she was among the next targets of a crackdown in which opposition Cambodia National Rescue Party leader Kem Sok was arrested a month ago and charged with treason.
Now that we are fighting for democracy from outside, we will continue to speak to the international community very frankly and demand actions. This time for statements have passed. Now it's time for sanctions, targeted sanctions, also suspension of technical aid to to the government of Cambodia. And look, during the weekend, that democracy is really facing a great challenge, and time is up for democracy. How long can the international community wait? By waiting, you play the game of Mr. Hun Sen. We have less than 10 months for 2018 election, which is very major for the opposition to make another gain, and we are sure with free and fair elections, we can win. There's no way.
Mu Socho was speaking to Reuters in Southeast Asia and requested that the location not be specified because of security reasons. She said last week that around half of the CNRP's members of parliament had fled Cambodia. The government accuses the opposition of planning a revolution to oust Hun Sen, whose rule has spanned Cambodia's three-decade transformation from a broken state after the Khmer Rouge genocide to one of the region's fastest-growing economies. Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen threatened earlier to dissolve the main opposition party if it continued to back detained leader Kem Sok, who's been charged with treason over an alleged plot to gain power with U.S. support.
វាជាភពសំណាងណាស់ដែលកម្ពុជាបានរកឃើញនៅអំពើក្បត់របស់ជួនក្បត់ទៀតដែលយើងបានចាប់ខ្លួនរួចមកហើយប្រសិនបើបកនយោបាយនៅតែបន្តរារាំង
Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen said that Cambodia still has many parties to take part in the election after dissolving the party. So he appealed to all compatriots to not allow notorious acts of colluding with foreigners that'll again destroy the nation of Cambodia, as was done back in 1970. Kem Sok was arrested on September 3rd and is the only serious election rival to Hun Sen, a 65-year-old former Khmer Rouge commander. Western countries have criticized the arrest, marking an escalation in a crackdown on critics ahead of a poll next year that could pose the toughest electoral challenge Hun Sen has faced in more than 30 years of rule. The opposition Cambodia National Rescue Party said it would continue to support Kem Sok as leader and threatened to boycott the election if he's not freed. Parliamentarians from the CNRP went to the prison where Kem Sok is being held to demand his release. They said his arrest was illegal because he should have been protected by parliamentary immunity.
And that was the ASEAN interview for this week and wraps up our program as well. We'll see you next week. As for now, สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ